Bunker, a place we only have theories on. What's down there? We have no actual idea on what's there. It could legit just be Gaster with his blunt rotation with friend and death. Or you could choose to believe in what I believe. Riddle me this. Why would this important place have 3 locks at 3 different locations? At first, it makes sense. Of course, the Knight wants their base protected. But then, why have evidence of where these codes are and hints to where they are? If you just want to keep a safe code around, just plop in a random book in the library. If someone else needed to know the code, you could tell them what book to look at. So I think this adventure is just to waste our time by making us hunt for these codes, and once we open this bunker, we will see 2 things. One, it could be nothing. It could just be a simple bunker. But that's a boring way to think, and I don't think it would be very productive of the Knight to make us go on this grand adventure to open an empty bunker. So yes, the bunker will have a dark world, but not a normal one. This dark world is just mainly here to distract us, as we believe this dark world will be the base of operations of the Knight. We will search front and back as we do the real plan of the Roaring Knight. Whoever they are will be able to have free roam all over hometown while we are in the bunker, while our heroes are trapped, not on a deadly one, but just to waste our time. As we've seen in Deltarune a couple times, numbers mean a lot, especially 1225. What if this code isn't a random one, but selected, as we enter the dark world with these bad numbers on our mind? It will be able to morph this dark world into what we want, our desires, clues for death, why was Asgard fired, our desires finally met as we're given answers for the first time. The prophecy, the angel was banished and met with its desire, has always been odd to me, because this would mean if we were to get banished, we would leave Deltarune in an unfinished state, which could work, but I feel like a lot of people would see it as cheap. So, what if, instead of being banished in that sense, we are banished within the bunker? Imagine, Susie finds what the soul is all about. In a confused state, she runs, and we end up at the grand door. We try and say that we aren't evil, that we aren't just taking over this body, but she wouldn't listen to us. She would go beneath the grand door and slam it shut on us. We would be banished within this dark world, all by ourselves and our desires. As we explore the fountain and find the dark fountain, we are ready to seal it. But then, almost out of nowhere, a mystery man appears. A man who is speaking in wingdings. In the end, what is it that most Deltarune fans want to know? It's Gaster. This Gaster wouldn't be the real Gaster, but just something we wanted to see. The Eggman? Who is he? We have no idea. At this rate, he might even be Papyrus. But anyways, what is he doing? And why is Gaster not a fan of this guy? I think it's because he and Gaster are the same. But in the Deltarune equal, this guy was split across time and space, like Gaster. And that's why Gaster would care, because he's trying to steal his place. Gaster wants a new home. So if it's Deltarune, so be it. Within Undertale, he cannot bring fantasy to life. He couldn't share his knowledge of the Dark Worlds before he got split. The Eggman is an interesting character, as you can only notice him if you are collecting the eggs. If you aren't collecting the eggs, you will never see him, because without anything for anyone to remember you in this world, you'll be forgotten, like a mystery man, a world where you weren't born. Without it, anybody who would remember you just becomes a copy. Gaster can't be remembered in this world because he doesn't come from this world. He can only watch until this dark world was brought to life, and through Chris's eyes a form and memory appears, who he is and who he can latch onto. This is what he's been banking on, the angel's heaven, our heaven. But if instead you were to focus on the Eggman, the angel's desire in this situation would not be Gaster, but the Eggman himself. But, as we think in Deltarune, there is only one ending, and Gaster has been waiting long enough. Gaster will. Lucifer was originally made in heaven, but fell from heaven. The same thing will happen to Gaster. He will be born within an angel's heaven, then brought onto the light world through us sealing the fountain. Falling from heaven, we open the door as everything seems to be in chaos. Run into the streets as we see the hospital, the school, the homes, all turned into dark worlds. If we don't act fast now, the roaring will approach. But we forget to check the bunker before leaving. Us, Chris, the Knight, we have no idea what has been born now. Gaster won't just be able to appear, he must latch onto an object and basically become a reverse Darkner. This section is more to explain how I think the actual Dark World would play out, as all of this could seem to be one chapter's worth of content. But I believe the bunker will just be half a chapter, since unlike most secret bosses, I think this secret boss would be from the eggs, and the mid-chapter being quite fast, as there would only be a couple tense scenes, only having a good amount of content at the start and end of this Dark World. The Weird Route. We will have an entire new way of looking at the phrase the angel was banished, met with its desire. In simple terms, I think we will be banished out of Chris. Chris being fed up, maybe even rather to break his promise than to let us keep doing this. But then it is too late. We already embedded our soul. We will go. Love finds the girl. Gets twisted within this context. We will cut the roaring short, as without it, the bunker. We will be able to cut off the Knight with his plan and see what this twisted route has left entail. And that is fool's gold. Now towards the end we did yip yap about Gaster a little bit, and you might think, well, that's the point of the bunker, he's gonna give birth to Gaster by your theory. But the whole point is that the intended purpose by the Roaring Knight is that it's a basically trick to distract the heroes while he can go in hometown. And Gaster himself is the one manipulating his, I guess, birth, you could say. But yeah, this theory was a lot of fun to actually make. It was definitely my favourite theory I've made so far. I've only made 3, so that's not really much. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, subscribe, because we're going to be making more theories. So if you liked it, you know, why not?